Scanning for audio.
Welcome to a Tin Dog podcast, this time talking about Survivors Series 5. Yes, I know it's not Doctor Who, but it's my podcast and I'm allowed to talk about whatever I want. And more importantly, I've talked about Survivors since it first came back. Yes, this is Terry Nation's Survivors and we're at Series 5. And boy, oh boy, is it still just relentlessly dark. Now, straight off, I need to say Survivors is not for children. To be fair, it's not for adults who have anything going on in their heads whatsoever that isn't all puppies and unicorns, because it will get in your head and it will depress the hell out of you. It is by far the darkest thing that Big Finish produce, and you know what? They can be justifiably proud of it. There are performances here that are better than most things you'll see in a movie. Yes, the story arc of the main characters that appear on TV is established and set in stone. But everyone else, well, all bets are off. If you weren't on TV and your death hasn't been established elsewhere, the clock's ticking, my friends. The clock is quite definitely ticking. You've got, as before, 4 particularly great stories, parts, a mini-series. Again, one major story arc. Now, it's easier just to picture it. Zombie apocalypse movie without the zombies. The virus hit everyone and all it did was kill them. Didn't turn them into the undead, it just killed them. There are some survivors, not many. That's it. It's simple. That's the only sci-fi aspect of this entire story. Yes, the technology stopped evolving in the 70s where this is set. And as always, the research has been meticulous. It does make me think that we'd stand even less chance of survival these days with our reliance on technology than we would have then. Even if we did survive, would we choose to live in that kind of world? Probably not. You see, this is not the sort of thing I should be listening to at all. It's just so damn dark. You've got 4 stories. Parts 1 and Part 4 have been written by the Andrew Smith. Part 2, that's New Blood, is written by Christopher Hatherall. And Part 3, The Angel of Death, is written by Simon Clarke. On the synopsis front, it's fairly self-explanatory. Millions died when the plague swept around the globe. Such things couldn't possibly happen again, or could it? When Abby Grant and Evelyn Piper both arrive in Carol Baker's Maythorne community, a chain of events is set in motion that could unleash a new wave of death across the country. Part 2, A New Blood. Danger surrounds Whitecross when a simple border dispute exposes deadly tensions between those who live side by side. Greg Preston and Jenny Richards soon find themselves fighting for their lives as the people in the grip of a terrible new fear return to the old ways to protect themselves. Part 3. This is The Angel of Death. Emerging from the quarantined Whitecross, Greg and Jenny discover that the danger they glimpsed in Springthorne is far from over. Meanwhile, isolated communities find themselves exposed to a disease they know nothing about. Abby joins a desperate race to save lives. And Part 4... cometh the Horsemen. All of these are so cheery. In times of crisis, rumour and fear run rife across the decimated landscape of Britain. Evelyn and Abby experience the lethal effects of panic at first hand. In such times, the worst of humanity is exposed. Can Greg and Jenny find the best in those around them, or is there no way to avoid the coming of the Horsemen? It's so relentlessly dark that I really genuinely suggest you don't listen to this in one go. Break it up. 1 episode per day would be fine, and I suggest that you listen to this while you're in the park, or shopping, or something on headphones, or in the car so you can see other people, because if you're alone and listening to this, it will feel hopeless. The world will feel pointless, and nothing will matter. Genuinely, this is a very depressing thing. I would say it's like listening to the Smiths or Leonard Cohen, but everyone knows that the Smiths and Leonard Cohen are actually fairly cheery people, and merely it's their perception. This will chill you to the soul, like Dorian Gray. So, I'll play the trailer and let you decide, but everyone involved in this can be justifiably proud, because this is a glorious piece of storytelling. Long may survivors continue and survive, if there's anybody left, that is. So until next time, be seeing you.
Coming soon from Big Finish Productions. Survivors Series 5.
It's a new strain, an evolution of the virus that almost wiped us out in the first place. It's the death. It's back.
This is a matter of life and death. I've seen entire communities destroyed by this epidemic.
Angel of Death!
The Angel of Death! That's what you are!
Ow! Ow! And the reason I'm staying back here is I might be infected too.
All those first steps rebuilding society, everything we've achieved in the past 2 years, it's all for nothing.
Every place that woman passes through, same pattern. She spreads infection, there's illness, death. Then those that can walk just abandon their homes.
A greater purpose awaits you. Your sacrifice will be our saving.
I can't believe it, Craig. The death. It's come back.
Big Finish. We love stories.
That was the Doctor Who Tin Dog Podcast, available on iTunes, YouTube, Twitter, RSS, Vimeo, and across the internet. Doctor Who and its associated properties are all copyright and trademark of the BBC. No infringement is intended. Why not become a supporter by visiting patreon.com/tindog. Contact the show on tin-dog@hotmail.co.uk. The Tin Dog Podcast is a founder member of the Doctor Who Podcast Alliance.